Good morning. I hope everyone is doing really well and you enjoyed not really having very much to do yesterday evening after you did your math test. So, yeah, I didn't have any math homework to do, which was nice. The only real thing, I guess, was just like science to work on a little bit more. And I'm sure people were excited to continue working on social studies as well. Okay, so the only things today, just to double check that you have done, are number one, the letter edits. If you were somebody who handed in your draft on time yesterday by 8:30 and you had all of your other English stuff done, then I would have switched you with somebody else, as you guys would have seen. So if you are one of those people, then you should have your partner's edits back to you by 8:30 or back to them by 8:30. Just on the chat that you guys have on Edmodo. And then if you didn't hand in your letter draft yesterday, so if you are like, as long as it's in today by 8:30, then I'll be switching you still with somebody to gain the ability to get their feedback from a partner with partner edits. And those will be switched like today, and then you need to have those back to your partner by tomorrow morning at 8:30 because then the final copy is due on Thursday. Some people might be getting close to being done, like people who had their edits back today. You might be able to finish today. And then I'll make, during ELA today, I will make a folder, like a Dropbox for you on the ELA page. So those are due tomorrow. Sorry, not tomorrow, Thursday. Okay, then the other thing is the design of the aerodynamics experiment, which I explained yesterday in our science lesson. And you'll see that posted where to post that on Seesaw. I'll show that when we get to our science page specifically. Okay, overall plan for the day is normal. I'll make up a new Prodigy thing even though we're just starting something new today. You could also do some Membeam. Math, we are doing at 9, and then writing a little short lesson at 10. At 12 o'clock, we're going to be having an optional UAE social studies class just to continue working on the project, which is due on Thursday. And this is the code, again, for Edmodo to get into that. Science at 1 o'clock, social studies at 2, and then agenda at 3. So we don't have a movement moment today, but maybe, oh no, we do. Malik should be doing it. Yay! So Malik, thank you, Bassi, for yours yesterday. That was great. Hard one, push-ups. Okay, so today, whoopsies, that's not what I meant to press. Okay, so I'll make up a new Prodigy thing for you guys to do, and then we're doing a new lesson today at 9 o'clock. We're not going to be able to go over the review because there's like 1 or 2 people who haven't finished the Show What You Know yet. So of course I'm not able to go over that quite yet. But today I will be sending you guys back the full like screenshot thing of what questions you got right and wrong so that when we do go over it, you have that handy to look at. The new lesson today is going to be kind of fun. It's with shapes and like turns and motions and slides and stuff. So this is like our very last unit for math that we're doing. And my goal is to do this within the next like couple of days. And you'll see that it's like not really that hard. Parts of it are kind of tricky, I guess. But yeah, you'll see when we get there. Okay, and then people, you know who you are. You're meeting me at 9 o'clock in the morning for your makeup Show What You Know. I'll send you guys private Zoom links. Okay. And then ELA, right, so I've already talked about that. Make sure you have your edits back to your partner or your draft submitted to Edmodo by 8:30. And then I'll be sending you, if you're someone who submitted the draft to me, I'll be sending you a partner by like 10 o'clock by our writing lesson. Science. Okay, let me just show this for a second here. So in science, okay, this is what we were working on. So you had to submit this like lab design. So you're coming up with your own experiment to prove how aerodynamics can be shown. So the scientific idea is how the change in surface area affects the amount of drag. So you have to make up a hypothesis. Does the amount of surface area created, does the amount of surface area create more, or does a change of surface area create more or less drag? So you have to write a hypothesis about that. Then here, you're drawing your design of your real life experiment. So think of an object. If you're not really sure what I'm talking about, I've given examples. I suggest you go back and re-watch the lesson from yesterday in science. Think of something that would have good aerodynamics, like a singular design, and then the same design or the same kind of like object, but has like not as good aerodynamics, okay? So I've said the example of a car. You could use the example of a car that's pretty basic. I'd like you to think of something a little bit more like creative, other than just a car, okay? Like what would need to have good aerodynamics, and then show that, and then what would be something similar but would have like a worse aerodynamic design. And then the testing method I wanted you to mention. So again, I'm not going to repeat this whole lesson, but go back and rewatch the lesson from yesterday. You could say, I'm going to use a wind tunnel. I'm going to use an inclined plane. I'm going to use a ramp. I'm going to use like a time trial type thing, okay, to test this. And then the final part, which is really important, is explain why this design would be important. Who would be keen to use your design? Like, why does this matter in the world? Why does it matter to have something that has good aerodynamics? Okay, so that's due today by 1 o'clock, and that does count for marks. Okay, so then there'll be another little lesson today on flight. We're actually gonna get into learning about how airplanes fly today, which is kind of cool. And then social studies, we're gonna have just like a mini lesson at 2 o'clock. Where I'm just going to give you a couple of further pointers for what we did yesterday and kind of like review a little bit. If you feel like you're good and you fully understand, then you can just keep working. And then we're going to do a Zoom tomorrow again with the groups where we can just kind of collaborate a little bit more. But I am going to be fully going over how to get into the storyboard, that website, going over like the password stuff and username. Again, just to kind of like review everything that we did yesterday. And then this is our overall plan. Oh, wait. It's not Arabic. It's optional. UAE Social Studies. And this is review mini lesson. Okay, perfect. That's it. Okay, see you soon.